very, very curious. Wherever you are stuck, wherever you have a question, no matter how stupid it is, please go and research, because research has become, it is democratized now. Everybody has access to it. Second is something that is very, very important. Commit to the process. And I think Mr. Sarkar also talked about it, right? He said, when there are protocols, you have to follow the protocols. So the same thing, commit to the process. The result is just a consequence. So whenever things, and you know, I think Deepika talked about the highs and the troughs, right? The crests and the troughs in life, and how she lost her father and how it was difficult, right? You will all face that at some point of time, some difficulty when you are going through your professional life. It could be as simple as having a bad manager, to getting a bad performance review, whatever it is, right? The only thing that you need to keep your head down at that point of time and remember, apart from all is well, is you need to keep your head down and do what you're doing. You need to focus on that. Forget about the result. Forget what is going to happen. Just keep at it, right? And eventually you will find your way out. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have a goal. You should definitely have a goal, but the goal has to be a kind of a pole star driving you, right? My last assignment was being a manufacturing head HR for South, which is something that I had asked for. Nobody in the organization would have left Mumbai, a corporate job, and become a manufacturing HR head sitting out of a plant in Pondicherry. I had asked for, because that was one box which was unticked for my journey. So follow the process, commit to that process, the results would be an outcome. Okay? Third, be humble. Be very, very humble. Learn from your failures, learn from your mistakes, but forgive. Don't hold any sort of negative feelings for anybody who has not given you or not spoken to you in the right way when you were at when you needed that support, right? Learn from that mistake, but let it go. Because if you don't let it go, it will eat you up, right? And being revengeful and spiteful won't make you great, right? So I think be humble, learn from the mistakes, but let it go. There is a simple concept of circle of influence. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but there is a circle of influence, an internal circle of influence and an external circle of influence. Research shows that most successful people have a larger internal circle of influence and a smaller external circle of influence. So what's the difference? It's very simple. Something goes wrong, people who have larger external circle of influence will say, oh, this happened because that did not happen. Oh, this happened because he did not do this. And the people with larger circle of influence say, this does not happen because I did not do this. Maybe I could have been proactive, maybe I could have seen it better, maybe I could have seen this ball coming, right? I could have judged this shot better. So people who have a larger circle of internal circle of influence have a higher probability of becoming successful, right? Fourth one is a very simple one, but it's not something I am saying, it's something that you must have heard it's a very famous clip in TED Talks that is there. Love thy family. Don't compromise your family for attaining your growth. So you always have to balance this thing. So there was this entire study for about 30 years which has happened, and I think it has happened in Harvard, where they have taken various people of various age groups, those who were in World War II to the new generation, and they have done a lot of research, which is actual medical research, and they have come back with this finding that the single most point which keeps you happy is being near to your loved ones. It is not money, it is not success, it is not achievement. They are important, but the single most things which is constant is being around people whom you feel care for you. So love thy family. Don't compromise time with them, especially your parents, right, for growth. You must chase growth, but you have to balance it. Lastly is a very differential kind of a thought process, but I thought I'll still bring it up because nobody talks about it. Be financially mature. Right? When I started working, I had no clue what was stock market. My father comes from a very PSU understanding, and you know, when my parents talk about stock market, they still feel jua khel raha hai. Right? So the financial maturity is something that the earlier you bring it on, the better it is. 2 decades back, there was this thing that, you know, you need to save more. I think the learning has, it still stays, but the learning has changed a bit by saying that you need to save and invest. Save and invest. So understand how you manage your finances. From a very early age, you will be very, very comfortable as you go on, right? Because as much as people talk about the demographic dividend of India, 60 to 65% of our population is young, right? So naturally, what will happen after 20 years? The demographic dividend will start flipping. You will suddenly have a situation where you have a lot of old people in the system, right? Because your birth rate is also coming down. It's not as high as it used to be 2 decades back. Hence, building your financial maturity at this point of time would always keep you ahead. So these are only the 5 points that I needed to talk about. I would be happy to explain if you want to know something else. All the very best. Be successful. Be curious. Thank you so much.